Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone.
So I'll put you here where you can see the people talking. There you go. So that's your face. Facebook right there. So I'll put you here where you can see the people because you don't want to hear yourself. So I got to mute you. So that's your face. Use the sound so you don't hear yourself. Okay, I'll set this up. You don't want to hear yourself. You get that?
Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here today. The topic of my conversation today is celebrating and loving and still mourning the loss of our loved ones. We're here today. The topic of my conversation today is celebrating and loving and still mourning.
Yeah, you can go. I just invited you.
Um, and this topic came about because my daughter's birthday was the 29th, Friday. And I had this idea that I wanted to celebrate her this year by going down to the morgue where there are a lot of loved ones of different people around, you know, Irvington, Newark, Jersey City, East Orange, that have not had the opportunity to properly mourn or bury their loved ones. I mean, they walk them to the ER and that's it. You can't go in and, see the process there that they are enduring while, in the hospital. And some of us had the opportunity, to tell our loved ones that we love them when they went into the emergency room, and a lot did come home. However, a lot didn't come home. And, you know, they got the phone call that their loved one had transitioned back over to God. And so that's a little hard, although this pandemic just came in one day, we were living our normal life, and then the next day we weren't. I don't know how many bodies was actually in the freezers where we went to go celebrate my daughter's birthday at. I had the idea to go down there and place balloons and flags and in memory of my daughter, my cousin, and so many other ones that I have buried and lost. And so I put the idea out there and I shared it, and a couple of people, came by. I was scheduled to start it at 12 due to the rapid weather. I changed it until 3 o'clock. So thank you and shout out to everyone that did go down there and attend. Hi, Salima. How you doing, cousin? Hello, 50 plus web savvy. Thank you all for tuning in. So we're discussing the topics of losing our loved ones at this time and not being able to properly mourn them and lay them to rest, and share their legacy that they left behind with loved ones. And so today's topic is in memory of all of them. And we're going to sit up here and, at any time, if you feel free that you want to join the conversation, please feel free to do so. Share and like the live. Let's talk it out. Hey, Belisha. Hey, Camilla. Hey, Adria. Hey, thank you all for taking the time out to tune in. I have a bunch of young children on here right now, so I want to address, and if you feel free that you want to conversate about what we're enduring right now, please feel free to do so. we live in a time right now where not too many people are asking you how you feel, how your day going, how you doing. And a lot of y'all are mothers, single parent, you know, like I always say, we was already enduring so much of the struggle of life before this pandemic came here that, you know, mourning was it was a process. It still is a process. Hello, welcome, Shiwana. And so right now we're all dealing with something that we don't even know. It's like an out of body experience right now. We went from one day being able to hug and kiss and show our affection and love to one another to now not being able to hug and kiss and, you know, the social distancing and our ancestors, you know, that's how they actually showed that they cared, through cooking and hugging and kissing and being there for one another. Now that's taken away from us. And I feel so bad because that's how I show people that I love them. When I hear of someone losing someone, it really affects me, especially if I ever shared anything with you and told you I love you and I care for you. I really meant that. And most of y'all that know me know if y'all call upon me, I'm there. If I can help you, I'm there. All right, I have a question. I really think this is wonderful what you are doing because everyone needs to let something out in a positive way. Thank you, Queen. Samika, thank you, baby. I appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. Hey, sis, Queen. And it's only right that I speak upon the riots that's going on in the world right now. It's very devastating. If I could say anything to y'all as a mother that biologically gave birth to 10 children and a mother of many children in the city of Newark and around the world, I want to say, don't let the children sit down and continuously watch what's going on in the world. As a parent, I think that is your obligation to sit down and discuss what's going on in the world, because what I see, our souls feel. So please be very careful of allowing the children to see that video where that man is on the concrete. The man, meaning our brother George, who was brutally killed last week. It is, however, devastating. I chose not to watch the video only because I had to go identify my mother when she got killed, and it affects me every day. Every day when I hear of a killing, it reminds me of when they said I had to come identify my mom's body. And so things like that, I don't care to watch because it's devastating on your mind and it never goes away. So if you are a parent, please be mindful of scarring your children with everything that's going on in the world today. I ask that you sit down and teach them and talk about it, because as a parent, I fear for my daughter being a Sandra Blandon. I fear for my son being a Trayvon Martin. I fear for my grandson. We're living in a time where I am fearful only because all my children are adults at this time. So I can't tell them to go in the house and we go in the house collectively together and talk it out. No, they all live in their own homes. And so they're out in the world, in the real world. And I can't say what they won't do and what they will do, but all I can do is continue to pray for them and, ask God to cover them. I pray over them at night. I pray over them in the morning. I pray for you. I pray for us all, because I ask God to cover. I pray for y'all more. I be forgetting to pray for myself because I'm so concerned on, y'all well-being, because y'all well-being keeps me happy. If you good today, I'm good today. If I'm no good today, if you no good today, I'm no good today. So, I really try to be mindful. With that being said, we're going to take this opportunity right now. In some way, somehow, all of us is either mourning, because I'm going to mourn for the rest of my life. We're either mourning somebody due to the coronavirus or we're mourning someone that we lost. However, I choose to want to shout out a couple of people that have transitioned. My mom's, Deborah Ellis, I miss you. My son, Raekwon, I miss you. My daughter, Joy, I miss you. All my grandparents, Lily Mae Wiggins, Dr. May, my Uncle Wayne, my husband, Michael Cavanis, Michelle, Aretta, Squeaky, Zamika, uh, Taimani, Carolyn, Dorothy, Munira, I love you, baby. And we're going to do this and come together collectively and mourn them properly at another time. Just when the world open back up, we can do it, you know, the way that we choose to want to celebrate the lives of our lost ones. My heart goes out to the Franklin family and Alexis due to their loss yesterday. A loss is a loss. No matter how you lose someone, when you lose them, it hurts. I try to mourn people that I've lost by celebrating and being around people. But over the past 5 years, I have learned if you don't give a cookout, a birthday party, a celebration, a lot of people don't call you no more and say, "Oh, how you doing?" On the other hand, a lot of people, you know, I thank God that's still in my corner right now. So, you know, it's a give and a take. But you definitely through this process of this COVID-19, I have found strength and a whole lot of people that I didn't even see clearly to be as strong as they are to be there to help me while going through their own storms. Um, the Brown family. If you still up here, Mo, y'all have taken a hit in these last 2 years. And for y'all to be so young, I applaud y'all because y'all strength give me life. Danielle, I don't know if you up here, me and you lost our children around the same time. And, you know, your strength give me strength. It pleasure me. Munira, you're young, and the bond that I see you have with your father, that strengthens me because I didn't have that bond with my father. So, you know, in different ways where you don't feel that you're strong and able to be, you know, all you can be for people, you never know who need just strength. Even when you weak, you still have strength. And I'm grateful to have y'all as my platform and people that care about me and interact with me, you know, going through our storms. Because right now we're going through a storm and we're being tested. We're being tested on our strength right now. And like I said, I'm human. I had some depressing issues before this pandemic came. They just all came to life because I was confined. Quarantine is like nothing that I ever experienced before. But I just want to say that, you know, this too shall pass. We can come out on the other side of this. We just have to do it one day at a time. And my auntie Katina up here, thank you for our conversation shortly before I started this live. So if y'all choose to want to share some of the ways that you mourn, feel free. I'm open for conversation. And, you know, I have learned through this pandemic that good and bad criticism is being criticized by people is good for me. I'm developing a whole new me by undergoing this quarantine right now. You know, I see people different. You know, this quarantine came out of nowhere like a thief in the middle of the night and snatched up so many bodies, you know. And one thing I do know is some people had a lot of hate in them before this quarantine came in, and they still have it. Do we blame their mothers? Do we blame their father? Who do we blame? At some point, we have to be accountable for our own actions. I do a lot of, I don't know if y'all see on my page, I do a lot of, I apologize to my children. I even make phone calls to people and tell them I apologize. One, because I done had the opportunity to analyze my wrong in the situations. And I want to let people know before they walk to my coffin and see me for the last time that I apologize. I was wrong. It's okay for you to say you was wrong. You know, even if your wrong had a whole party team of people that did wrong and they don't want to apologize, it's okay. Live with who you want to be. How you want to be respected, you have to learn that collectively around a bunch of people, myself, because I'm a mother of 10 children. So, you know, leave it to them. I pretty much probably always wrong. But, you know, as I see them grow and become more dependent upon, I'm thankful. Hey, Patrice, how you doing? And I'm appreciative. But getting back to how do we mourn right now? When I went to go put the flowers, and I mean, not the flowers, when I went to go put the balloon and the flags down on Irvington Boulevard and South Orange Avenue at the morgue, there were freezers lined up. It's 10 freezers down there. People ride by them every day. Nobody like really taking consideration that those are people and people are inside of them dead. Is 10 freezers down there. They look like trailers that deliver our food to Walmart and ShopRite and Target. But they are freezers with bodies in there. Human beings that existed in this world. Somebody mother, somebody husband, somebody daughter, somebody son, somebody brother, somebody sister, somebody grandmother, uncle, cousin, friend, neighbor are in those trailers. And a young man told us that it is 6 of them that's full. They're waiting for the other 4 to be filled. Love you too, sis. Thanks for coming. Thank you. Yes, this live is going to help a lot of us. And so there's a total of 10. 6 is filled up with the bodies, and they're waiting to fill 4 more up before they move them out and replace them with 10 more. Let me say that again. It's 10 trailers down there. I think they 18 foot, 18 wheeler trucks, and there's 6 of them that's filled up. How do we know they was full? Because the young man explained to us that when the green light is on, that's keeping their bodies cold and frozen. It shuts down, and we were there to witness it going off and being turned on like a switch. And it really moved me to see how many cars was going by and people were looking, but people don't understand that those are bodies inside those trucks. And the trucks is long. And they filled 6 refrigerated tractor trailers full with bodies to the capacity and waiting for bodies to be full in the other 4. So for those of you that keep saying that the corona don't exist, I'm praying. I'm praying for us. I don't never want to say you. I'm praying for you. I'm saying us because as a collective, we the people, we're gonna come out on the other side. If we have a higher power that we believe in. And God bless the ones that don't. You know, but it was very emotional for me to stand there and, you know, place the flags and stuff down there and look over there and hear the generators come on and see the smoke go up out the trailers and know that they really are waiting for 4 more to be filled to the capacity before they take them out and reload us again and set it again for 10 more trailers to be placed here in the city of Newark and around the world. We're not the only ones that have the trellis. But to know that your loved one is in that trailer, one of my loved ones, your friends, your uncle, your cousin, your grandmother is laying in that freezer. And I bear witness to one of my friends that was there with me. And she said her mother was in one of those trailers. That sent like a chill to my body. And her emotions had me feeling like that was my mother. I hugged her. She was gasping for air because she said I couldn't properly say goodbye to my mother. And yet some people live in this world and don't have a connection with their mother. And she was standing there with me, knowing that her mother lay in one of those freezers in that truck. That hurted my soul. When I wrapped my arms around her, and 2 months before that, she had just buried her twin. How do you go from having memories and laughter and conversation and holidays with your mother and your brother, and her niece passed away last year, to having your whole family swiped away by Corona-19? And not being able to walk to the coffin or the cremation or do no celebration. That hurts. We will never be the same people we was before they locked the world down. But it's times like this that we can come together as human beings. Hey, baby daddy, how you doing? Love you. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Hot Rod, thank you. Thank you, sister, to Blanning. We will never go back to the people that we were before this disease swamped down on us. What I can say is mourning somebody never stops. You will mourn people to the day you die, because every time someone passes, they take a part of you with them. I live with the memories. I thank God. Let me tell you how good my God is, and because I know I've done all that I can, for those that I love and the ones that have transitioned. 2 weeks after burying my daughter, my sister came to me and asked me to be the maid of honor at her wedding. 2 weeks after my daughter passed. It was actually 1 week after her funeral that my sister asked me to be her maid of honor. Thankful to God, I had the strength to do that. Most people would have shut down, not even considered it. But I did it. And I went through every process. Going to David Bridal, sitting down there with her, picking out things, I enjoyed it because it gave me some life and existence back. I don't even know if she ever thought about, the transition of how everything went down and the strength that it took for me to be by her side, to make those decisions. But I thank God. I don't really think people, consider, the pain and suffering that you accumulate in burying loved ones. And as I sit back, I don't know if I understand it. I don't know if I understand it. But I do know the process of burying a loved one is, one of the hardest things that I think, besides that and giving birth to my children, was one of the hardest things that I ever had to do in my life. Going to walk in the freezer and see my mother laying there, that disturbingly bothered me. But I was grateful that I had the opportunity, to see her through that process. So imagine, someone laying in a freezer in a truck being transported to God knows where. You don't know. And I was telling my fiance, I said, I wonder if, what did they do? Did they take their jewelry off? Like, how you pass stuff down to generations? Did they give the loved ones? You don't know. You just don't know how they treating our loved ones. And it's our right. We should be able to go into the hospital and tell them that it's okay. Because I'll never forget what the day my daughter transitioned back to God, she called me in the room and she told me for the first time, Mommy, I'm scared. And I said, you don't have to be scared. Because I knew her father, my mother, her brother, her grandparents, uncles, and they were already there. And I have done all I could do. And I have prayed all I can pray. And everything that's going to happen is part of God's plan. Even though I didn't want it to be. And your parents laying in those freezers is not God's plan either. I don't think this is what God wanted. Because this bringing so much pain to us. Hey, Veronica. Oh, my God. Good to see you, Miss Joy Ford. I know if anybody know, you understand everything that I am talking about right now. I want to say thank you all for logging in. And the topic today is, the mourning process of losing a loved one and celebrating and keeping their memory alive. My daughter's birthday was Friday, May the 29th, and I chose to celebrate her with a couple of friends, and we went down to South Orange Avenue and Irvington Boulevard, where they are housing a lot of the bodies of loved ones in trailer freezers, and 6 of them are filled to the capacity, and they're waiting for the other 2 to be filled so they can transport them to where they're going to take them. And we were there to witness, some of the process of how it go down. And one of the young ladies that was out there with me, her mother was in one of the trailers. And, I was thankful to be able to hug her and let her cry it out, because she said she hadn't dealt with any emotions because she wasn't able to, have a funeral. She wasn't able to go through any of the process that most of us already went through by burying our loved ones. And I thank God that I was able to share that moment with her. And I will continue to check on her. I have a couple of friends that lost their mother and their sister yesterday. Like I said, I continue to think about so many of my friends that have transitioned and wasn't able to say goodbye to their loved ones. And that's very disturbing for me. And if y'all continue to follow me, the process is gonna go down on how we're gonna, remember them after the world open back up. I hope everybody is still practicing social distance, wearing your masks. I'm not gonna lie, I don't wear the gloves as much, but I'm still trying to practice. I wear my mask though, because I'm one of those high risk. Me and my fiance is one of the high risk. Excuse me. So, if anyone have lost someone, please put their names up here. If you want to say memory of, if you want to just send a heart up, you can do that also. Okay, to my daughter, Twatty with the body. Thank you, Bills, for the heart. And so, like I always tell y'all, through this pandemic, me and my loved one have been going through it. Right now we're away. My daughter's birthday was Friday, so he told me to throw something in the suitcase and we hit the road. I don't even know what town we in, but he went and bought me these beautiful roses. They said, give me my roses while I'm alive. I just start smiling. Thank you, Poppy. If we don't learn nothing else during this process, learn to love on yourself. Learn to appreciate you, because you are important. I thank God I don't have to put a front on for social media, because I deal with life on life terms. Hey, Janine. Hey, Auntie Baby. That's Val doing it. Love you. We are talking about the topics of losing a loved one and the mourning process, which you never ever get over. There is no prescription when you lose a loved one. Unfortunately, I have had the opportunity to pick out a coffin too many times. A mother, a husband, an uncle, a daughter, a son, like aunt. But yet God seems to, He give me the strength that I need. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. And thank you to Billy, because between you and God, y'all push me in the direction that I choose the one to go. My kids got my back. Bang, bang. Shout out to them too. You know, even though we don't see eye to eye, and I think I might be talking to one or two right now. I don't know. I don't keep track anymore because their footsteps is not my footstep. My footsteps is not their footstep. And we all have a different look on what life is, how life is supposed to go, and the meaning of life. And, you know, today I know my life matter. And so I take baby steps in, you know, what I do and how I do, because I want to do after this pandemic is over. I pray for each and every one of y'all because we need to pray for one another. A lot of people don't, I don't want to hear that pray. I'm praying. I'm praying because of the grace of God, we woke up this morning. By the grace of God, you have something in your refrigerator. By the grace of God, you're able to take care of your family. You know, a lot of people not. A lot of people don't have no food in their home. And scared or had that thing called pride, where they got the pride up there, where they don't want to ask nobody, can they help them? Because people, they take what they do for you and they run with it when you weak. But I'm grateful. I'm thankful that I have a nice team of support. And every day I get on social media, if it's not someone losing someone, it's someone that already lost someone, and I feel their pain. I feel down, and I go and I promise you right now, God is my witness. When I get up there, it's people that's sharing other people, you know, that's laying in the hospital. I don't like to see those kind of videos and images on my page, but what I will do is I'll show. Sometimes I'll say condolences. If I don't know the people, you have my condolences, and I'll just keep on strolling. And if I see somebody in the hospital or something, I'll go quickly into God. I don't know, or I might say that if they put the name, please, God, could you help Michelle right now? Give everybody, you know, steady hands that have to tend to her. Give her family the strength to be by her side, because those things are important. I don't know if any of y'all have ever dealt with hospice. Hospice is a very draining process. And I think more of us, if we do have to deal with hospice, we should educate ourselves. Hey, Beaver, thanks for tuning in. Hey, JJ. We should educate ourselves on how to deal with hospice, because hospice can come in and rob you like a thief in the night too. If you don't ask questions, they pretty much do. Only thing they keep saying is up the antidote of the medicine that they give your loved ones. No, you want to know what medicine they giving them. You want to Google it. You want to take more time. One thing I do regret, when, you know, I was going through the process of my daughter passing away. I love you too, love. I was trying to share her with the world and give her everything she asked me of, that I have very little video, and she passed away at home. Those was the best, that I think, like 4 weeks of our life. We had fun. We really had fun, but I didn't take that many pictures for her because I was so into letting everybody and come to see her and let her do what she wanted to do, that I forgot to get what I was going to need after she was gone. So, you know, I do have, however, I'm blessed to have home videos. And so right now, all y'all that have 1,001 pictures on social media, get some of them pictures developed, because right now, if social media crash, where is your memories for the last 10 years on social media? It will be erased. You leaving your happiness up to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. No, Start printing out some of them pictures. If you can't afford to do it every month, just take $10 and go get. Sometimes they had a sale at Walgreens, 100 pictures for no more than $10 or $15. Go get 100 pictures and print them out. Your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, they deserve to have some memory just in case social media crash. But we're living in a world where we're getting comfortable more and more of them dictating us what we should do, how we should do. Facebook go up here every year. They're changing how the protocol or the bylaws of you being in YouTube and everything. They just take it. Don't ask us. They don't take our opinion into consideration. They just change it. We don't have a say so. So I'm asking you guys to start going to get y'all some pictures developed just in case Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of it want to crash. You'll have some memories. I do love, don't get me wrong, I love my Facebook memories when they pop up. Like my grandson, he was 3 years old. He's about to be 11 years old. He popped up today. And the growth in the process. But I was a part of the whole journey. So that just took me back to a happy place. And those are the things that help me cope with the loss of loved ones. Every now and then, I just smile and look up like, oh my God, that's really you? And I remember, the smell of my mother perfume, or the hug that my daughter used to give me, or when my son used to put his hand around my neck and say, Mommy, I love you. Those things help me cope with the opinion, the negative opinion of people today. Because 9 times out of 10, and I say 9, that's a very high number, the people that's judging you have so much room to judge themselves. But they don't want to see the wrong within themselves, but they find everything that's wrong with you. Hello, perfect person that got it all together and got time enough to judge me. I don't pretend to live a perfect life. There are things I know that God still want to fix in my life. I am part of his journey. If it was not true, he would have took me before he took my children, my mother, my grandparents. I'm here for a reason. And everybody ain't got to get on my bus. Because the opinion is like, everybody have an opinion. Some are needed and some are not. Ladies, I want you to start doing something. I'm going to make a date next month. And, hey, Bodie. And I want 6 women. 6 women, if you are up here right now, to write what I mean to you and put it in my inbox. It's 10 women. And on YouTube, I don't know how I can do it, but I'm going to see how I can do it. And we're going to make a date. And I'm going to do something with you ladies. The medical examiner down there on South Orange Avenue, Court Street at the morgue, he said that he's been there for 2 months watching and monitoring the freezers on the transport of how the bodies go in the truck and how they're supposed to be properly laid and everything. And he said he's been there for 2 months. And he said not one person have come down there in 2 months. That I was the first person to come bring balloons and talk and bring some attention to those freezers. And as I was down there, cars started to go by and they started blowing and yay and cheering me on. And these 2 little kids came down. It had to be like maybe 19, 20, 17, somewhere in that bracket. And they was like, wow, I didn't know people was inside of those trailers. Most people don't know that people are inside them trailers. That's what's bothering me, is that people don't know that their loved ones is inside those trucks. They right there. You can go down there, whether you want to put a balloon, a flower. I'm going to do something next week again, because I got some phone calls from a couple of my friends, and they have family members that's inside of there. So we're going to get together. I don't know. I'm going to look at the weather this coming week, and I'm going to see what the weather is. And if it allowed me, we're going to do something down there again this week. Because people don't know that their loved ones is in those trailers. Hello, love. Thank y'all for tuning in. And then feel free, if y'all want to say, in memory of, or just send hearts of some of your loved ones that's no longer here, but you're dealing with the process of mourning them and still dealing with being a mother, a wife, a fiance, a cousin, an aunt, a grandmother, and trying to manage the bills while being laid off. Please feel free. Let's mourn together. Let's help each one. It's so sad. Web Savvy, she said, it's so sad. The only thing that helps, if at all, is knowing that your loved one's spirit has left their body. So true. So true. And that they're no longer in pain and antagonized by needles. Because this is the way I think. When you go to the hospital, they always want to do lab work. They want to do, I hate the process of going to the emergency room. But you don't know what they endured. So if they were sick, to the level of the transition of death, just thank you, God. Thank you, God, for no longer allowing them to suffer. And I always say, may you give the loved ones that's left behind the strength to endure the mourning process, because it's not an overnight process. It's something that's gonna be with us for the rest of our life. Excuse me, guys. I needed that. So, with that being said, when I get on social media, I see so many of y'all saying y'all want to give up. Why is giving up such a quick option? Hello, Terry. Thank you for tuning in, love. We're talking about the process of mourning. How do you process mourning? How do you deal with the loss of your loved ones? Oh, yes. And Terry mom's birthday, her birthday, I think, was on the same day as my daughter's, May the 29th. So we both have something in common. Not only that date, but, we've been friends for a couple of decades now. I won't tell you how young we are. But thank you for joining in. And so you have some people that's up here that were able to have a funeral or celebration. My daughter's celebration and transition was amazing. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. However, like I said, a lot of people don't know that there are bodies on South Orange Avenue and Urban Turner Boulevard. Those trailers that's sitting there next to the morgue are actually filled with bodies. Those are your loved ones that you haven't been able to have a proper funeral or bury for. I know one of my friends reached out to me. Their loved one passed away right after Thanksgiving. His brother funeral is this coming weekend. No, next weekend. Yes. His brother funeral is next weekend. So he's been in the freezer ever since the end of November. That's another thing. A lot of these funeral parlors are really coming off with charging. Sometimes, a funeral is 5, 6, 7,000. They're taking it to 10 and 11 and 12 to allow family members to bury their loved ones. But I know it's a God that sit high and look low, and they're gonna have their day in court too. But after you lose a loved one, the process of trying to get them buried is, whew, that's why you have to continuously keep them in prayer. We have to pray for one another. Like I said, people don't want to get the fundamental things away now. Good morning. How you doing? How you been? Your hair look nice. Let me see my video. You just want mine. So there you go again. But yes, let's just be thankful, you know, that we are still amongst the land of the living and we are able to be here for one another. And I'm gonna ask that y'all start doing something, even if it's once a day, you know, take time out for yourself, get away from everything that try to bring negativity or distraction your way. If you have a candle, light the candle and just go somewhere and sit down for about 10 to 20 minutes and just inhale, release, inhale, release. Do that. You owe it to yourself. We are dealing with so much. Watching some of the videos from yesterday. Hey June, thank you for tuning in. Love you much. Watching some of the videos yesterday was disturbing me. Like I said, I haven't watched the video of the young man that got killed because those images will stay in your mind forever. And I don't like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you really sat there. I seen the pictures and you were so comfortable, like you were sitting in your recliner chair with your knee in that man's neck. Yes, I want everyone accountable to pay for what they did to him. Because that affected every black man that I know. I will not stand back. If I was out there, me and my son would have died together that day. Let me tell you this. We would have died together. That's the one job that I'm grateful for being and having, that God allowed me to be somebody's mother. Yes, I will die for mine. Yep. We're here today to discuss how do you properly mourn the loss of a loved one during this pandemic. Do you know that those bodies and trailers that's down on South Orange Avenue and Urban Turner Boulevard, those trailers are filled with bodies. Right next door to the corner office, those 10 freezers that you see, which 6 of them is filled to the capacity, and they're waiting to fill the other 4 before they transport the bodies to the location where they will dispose of the bodies. Do you know that your loved one is in one of those trailers? How do you deal with the process of never ever being able to properly mourn them or ever see them again? I know it's very emotional. It's emotional for me. And I tell you, it was so uplifting. Although it was my daughter's celebration of life that I had her here. She turned 27 years old, but it felt so good to be there. Shout out to my little cousin Dominique too. Because no matter what, you know, and she's way younger than me. But every year, make it her business to do something for me and Bleed's siblings. Every year. She was there from the beginning to the end. She's still rocking. Shout out to her. Dominique, I love you. I think I just in general thank God for allowing me to even have the strength to want to be able to make sure that each one of you are all right. But we're not all right, but we're doing. Because I tell people all the time when I go to them, and you know, so many people ask you when you lose a loved one, are you all right? No, you're never going to be all right. Never, ever again are you going to be all right. So that's the first sign of the depression. When you start saying, I'm all right, no, you're never going to be all right again. So that's the first sign of you starting to lie to yourself. And that lie will continue. I'm all right. I'm all right. No, you're not all right. You're never going to be all right. But what you can do is just pray that God give you the strength to endure, what's ahead of you. Hey, Katie. Hello, love. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And we're discussing the loss of a loved one during the pandemic and, loved one in general. How do you properly mourn? How do you keep their memory alive? And during the pandemic, being though you can't have a proper funeral, what are some of the things that, help you, along the way during the process and to help give you strength during this process? And it's okay if you're not strong. Everyone don't have to be strong 365 days out of a year. You can be weak if you choose to want to be weak. Hell, if you want to have a 2-year-old tantrum, do so. Do whatever it takes to be a better you. Do whatever it takes to keep you from being depressed. No, everybody don't walk around every day happy. And if they do, some of them is lying. That's why I tell you, no, I don't, me and my children, we don't see eye to eye. Heck, I don't even talk to 7 of them. Hey, love, how you doing? You seen your polyolly? Just do what's best for you. It took me until, I'm not gonna lie, until I was 50 years old for me to start discovering that I deserve more and better. I'm sitting around here giving cookouts, parties, helping, baby shower, all this stuff. It don't matter. And I did it from my heart, but I started to see some of these people, they only wanted to be bothered with me during those times. So now I do it according to who love me. You love me, I love you. You support me, I support you. I'm over that supporting everybody in my bank account going into the negative while you growing. No, those days are over. And I want you to understand that you don't owe nobody but nothing but God. If you have a child, you owe them something until you can get so they can get to the point where they know how to walk and talk and use the potty and all that on their own. Oh, that's a blessing. Continue saying, I know that I am not okay. I've been getting therapy. There's nothing wrong with getting therapy, baby. There's nothing wrong with it. It's therapy, counseling, one-on-ones. All of it is a must need. We are living in some very challenging times. So it's okay to go get therapy. Continue to do what's best to be the better you. If you somebody mother, you can only be good to your children if you are a better you. I sit back and I watch some people pages and I said 10 years ago, what was they doing? And I look at them. The same thing they doing today. They ain't changed nothing. They're still the same person they was 10 years ago. They still doing the same thing. And they're sitting up there judging you. Thank you, Auntie Katina. My Aunt Katina is up here. She says she's watching. Thank you for watching. Penny, is that you? Thank you for tuning in, guys. So I'm discussing on the topic today is, how do you mourn properly your loved ones? We have 10 tractor trailers on Urban Turner Boulevard in South Orange Avenue next to the morgue. 6 of them is filled to the capacity. 4 more are waiting for bodies to be put in there so they can move all 10 of them and bring 10 more back. Did any of you know that those were trailers that, a lot of people, loved ones, were inside? And memory of Bleeze, her birthday was Friday. My children chose to celebrate her by having a cookout and a video shoot. I chose to mourn her and celebrate her by going down to the morgue and putting balloons up down there by where the bodies are in the trellis. And I must say, it felt good. And thank you for everybody that came out. Kels, Dominique, Seth, my niece Naya, Billy, Carol, Tig. I appreciate you guys. It really felt good to have the support. Tish was there in spirit. And thank everybody that came at 12 o'clock because, like I said, we changed it around from 12 to 3. So some people did go down there at 12, and I thank you as well. Kate, please continue to the therapy is a good way. That's Auntie Katina. Oh, hey Auntie. Hey Auntie. Yes, therapy is good. Counseling is good. Whatever it takes to make a better you and for you to understand that pain is not the new norm, because I'm starting to see that. And I don't want us to continue to sit and be comfortable with just my corona weight is serious. I'm not even gonna lie. But that's the new norm for us, to just eat and be depressed and talk about when this is over. I'm okay with it not being over until January, if I must say, because God has not allowed me to miss a meal and my bills is paid, thank God. So I'm okay if He want to choose to make us sit down until January. January it is. You know, when you sit back and think of our ancestors, you know, and all that they had to endure, we're going to be all right. We're here for one another. You know, my story is a lot like yours, but I won't let it be my future. It's okay if your story is a part of your future, because I tell my story. And right now, I can tell my story. Sometimes I can tell it and I cry through the emotions. But because of God and prayer and the fact that I have Billy and a couple of other people that share their emotions with me, and I share my emotions with them, and I listen to my music. Music is my therapy and my go to. Don't get me wrong. I have a Corona here and there, you know, sip my wine. Like I said, I'm gonna be truthful, because the more truthful I am with myself, the less tools I give people to break me down. So, high five to the enemy that's making the out of me look beautiful. Hey, Grandma, my granddaughter just tuned in. One of my many blessings and bonuses on this side of earth that made me a great grandmother. Okay. Shout out to my Nevaeh. She be having conversations with me, and she only 5 months. But thank y'all. Thank y'all. I really appreciate all y'all tuning in. Once again, we are sitting up here talking about how do you properly mourn the loss of a loved one um, through the pandemic. Do you know that those tractor trailers down on South Orange Avenue and Irvington Boulevard are filled with bodies? It's okay for you to pull up there and, you know, let your emotions go ahead and feel. You know, at least you know your loved ones are in those freezers, and go down there and talk with them. It felt good for me to go down there. I don't know about everybody else. Some people might not want to deal with them, but it felt good. Katina, I learned to share, because keeping it in only hurts worse. Yes, it do. So thank you for sharing it on the live today, but continue to share it. And also get you a book and start writing down some of your emotions, because you never know. I might have you as one of my guest speakers, but you're going to have a 5 minute cutoff time. Excuse me. A root beer soda. I mean, cream soda is really good. Yes, but you sure can share, and that's what's wrong with us. Like I always say, we were taught what happened in my house, stay in my house. I done threw that out the window. No, if you feel like you need help outside your home, I mean, it depending on what it was. I say this because I went through some sexual abuse in my home. It was a lot going on in my home, and because my mother and grandmother used to say what goes on in the house, I stayed a victim of that for years. Today, I tell you, if it's going on in your house and you need to get help to be a better you, save yourself. Don't listen to that. What goes on in my house stays in my house. Let it go. Save yourself. I held on to all that anger and bitterness for years until, some of my loved ones, such as my husband and my fiance, now rest in peace to my husband, um, they helped me be a better me and start to process the things that was going on in my life. That wasn't my fault. But yes, once again, we are discussing how do you deal with the love of a loved one during this pandemic, and so many other things. Like, are you capable to deal with the emotions? Are you trying? Do you even understand that you have the pain of losing loved ones inside of you? Hi, Gigi. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Um, yes. Do you know how to deal with the loss of a loved one? Are you willing to do the work that it takes to deal with the depression within you? Because a lot of people don't like to deal with the depression side of losing a loved one because they already have so much overwhelming pain inside of them. So no, they don't want to deal with, excuse me, the love of a lost one, and so they bottle it up and become until it become a walking time bomb. And then 9 times out of 10, they start lashing out on the ones that's their loved ones that surround them because they don't want to deal with the loss of their loved ones, and so they bottle up the pain, and then they start lashing out of those that don't deserve it. I'm guilty of that, but like I said, I pray on thing, and I'm learning to be a better me than I was yesterday. The person I was before, I wouldn't discuss my business in front of people because I don't want y'all to judge me. But today I know some people, there is good and bad criticism. So I'm up to listen to people's opinions. Some people opinion matter to me? Yes. Some people I give the utmost respect in what they say, long as they respectfully, giving me their opinion and not really criticizing me, because I don't point fingers at people, unless it comes to the point where we're at each other. Then what you say to me, I'm gonna hurt you even more. Yes, I do have another side to me, but I pray for her. I'd like to keep her where she at because it took me a lot of work to get to who I am today. And I'm thankful to God for allowing people to come into my life and help me, and so that I'm able to help other people. Shout out to Penny and Stan too. Penny is a beautiful young lady that recently lost her father, and um, she was very close. She's a daddy girl. So I don't know what daddy girl feel like because I was never a daddy girl. So when I see it, it excites me for a man to love on his daughter, and nurture her mind and soul to be all that she can be. And Penny was definitely daddy's girl. So shout out to Penny and Stan. May God continue to give you the strength to continue this journey and live his legacy, and you and Quan and all your siblings. Katina, what are some of the emotions that you have dealt with? You said you're in therapy and you're a better you now because of therapy. So tell me, how are you dealing with the emotions that used to bring you pain? because I seen you smiling today, and that made my heart feel good. By the way, everyone, Katina is my aunt. She's my mother's baby sister. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Shawana. Anyone, feel free to share your emotions. If not, we're getting ready to close this one out. I'm happy that everyone tuned in. Web Savvy, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your emotions and your feelings and having a conversation with Mother Teresa. I really appreciate it. Gigi, thank you for always supporting me. Katina, thank you for coming in. Shawana, thank you. And for everyone that was on my Facebook page, you people rock. Thank y'all. I want all y'all to understand the riot, because yesterday, let me just say this, the riot came, no, it was a peaceful rally. I live in Newark, New Jersey. The youth here did an amazing job of putting together a protest march. And it was beautiful. I felt, if I never felt so good to be a part of Newark yesterday in the dust of all that happened 1966, 53 years ago, when the riots was in Newark. Yesterday made everybody that had to endure anything from that time till today, it made them own up and be proud to be a Newarker. It felt good to watch our youth come into play and stand their ground. It's so many organizations, Westward Against Violence Coalition, thank y'all. Keisha, Stop Shooting, Al Tariq, advocator for Raz, the mayor of Newark, Natasha Allen, Donna Jackson, Al Tariq, Bess, Joy. Like, it was just a lot of people. I'm just thankful to God, Taj, her and her daughter experiencing the riot, the protest together. It was beautiful to see all y'all get on social media yesterday and, share your experiences. Katina, 1 second, guys. Katina said, I was already dealing with depression before I lost my daughter, but my sister Marie Ellis and my counselor continue to get me through with prayer. Yes, prayer is number one. As I have said in a couple of my videos, this pandemic has been hard on my relationship, and we have went through some ups and downs. But I told him that we're gonna start doing a prayer in the morning, because when you start out your day with prayer, it really helps. I burn sage, even though he don't like sage. I have to do what's best for me. Oh, my other baby. Hey, sweetie, I love you. And so, praying in the morning actually gives me strength to endure all that I'm going to take on during the process of my everyday being. So there's nothing wrong with praying. And Gigi, thanks for being so caring. No problem, sis. Thank you for always, feeding the nourishment that I need to continue to do so. Thank you, Gigi. Just like you. Katina said, I'm just like you. Use music as part of my therapy, art, and just opening it up and talking, letting it all out. Screaming, crying, letting it go. Whatever the process is that makes a better you, do it. Because we are creatures of habit. So we want to do what our ancestors used to do, and it don't work, because what our ancestors used to do 30, 40, 50 years ago don't work in today's world. So do what's best for you. Your music work, therapy work, screaming, crying, whatever, yelling, get it out. Because guess what? You only owe you a better you. You're no good to nobody else unless you're good to yourself. Uh, hey Malika, hey baby. So we're sitting up here discussing because I don't know if a lot of people know that all those white trucks that's down on South Orange Avenue and Urban Turner Boulevard are filled with bodies. 6 of them are filled to the capacity, and the other 4, the young man from the morgue said that they are waiting to fill them up before they ship them out. So I'm letting people know if your loved one had passed on during the pandemic and you were not able to properly mourn them, some of them are sitting in those freezers down there on South Orange Avenue and Urban Turner Boulevard. I put balloons there. My daughter's name was Joy, but she liked to be called Bleezy. And I went down there for her birthday and placed balloons and flags and stuff down there so people can know. Like this, after this is over, that will be a landmark of where so many people from Newark, Irvington, East Orange, Jersey City really laid. And people was really just driving by. People don't know that those are filled with bodies, and they're like refrigerated. They shut off and they come back on. Smoke come out the thing. Like it really felt good for me to be able to go down there and celebrate my daughter's birthday that way, And I had the honor of being with someone who loved one was inside of the freezer. So it made me a better me, and it made me more conscious of being there and supporting people during this pandemic. Like I said earlier, I shouted out a couple of names of people, that I know their children are in the process of missing them and, trying to get on with life. Thank you, my love. Love you. Mwah, always. Oh, my sweetie got a new shop too over on 4th Avenue. Pearl Roots, I think it is. We're about to do a commercial. It's coming soon. That's another thing. During this pandemic, find the best you that you can find. Like I have my organization called Let's Heal Together. And that organization was birthed out of the passing of my daughter. And for 4 years, I've been doing something like a meet and greet every year. And this year, I did one of my lives because it had to be pushed back. But I have a line of T-shirts and masks that's coming out. We're gonna do a video shoot for that soon. Yeah, find a better you. If you look at my lives and even when you're depressed, you want to do something, go look back at my life because I done screamed and I cried and I done did a lot of all the above. But find the inner you. Go back and look at some of these lives. I've overcame a lot. And I'm proud of myself. Sometimes it takes you patting yourself on the back to know where you came from and where you're going. But the most important thing is don't let you come out of your shell being the same you. I want you to be the better you. I want you to be a happier you. I want you to be mindful that God brought you from where you was to where you at. Nothing that happened in your life was an accident. It was part of the tools to make you a stronger person. Hey, cousin. Gigi, you have to grieve, sis. Take your time. Yes, it is. Grieving is a process, but you have to start to make steps. You can't want to grieve and not let go of some of the pain. So grieving is a process. It might take you 5, 10, 15 years. Because my mother and my son been dead 17 years. I didn't grieve them until my daughter passed away. And then thank you, cousin. You rock too. I didn't grieve none of them until I watched my daughter take her last breath. Then all the emotions of everybody just hit me. And it was at a point where, suicide was the easy way out. But I thank God the prayers of my ancestors were still over my life. Because had I not had their prayers over my life, the things that people that surround me, that some of the people that say I love you, them people with them harsh opinions of who you was and who you think you is and why she thinks she better. I don't think any of those things. Those are your opinions. You are entitled to them. How I respect them or reject them is totally up to me. Katina said, when Sha died, I thought Sha being Katina's daughter, my little cousin. When Sha died, I thought of you and wondered how did you get through it. I wanted to stay calling you and asking you, but I realized I had to do it on my own. No, you never have to do it on your own. And that was the reason why I called you. See, and what we have to understand, even though, I have married a son, a daughter, a sister, a brother, a mother, and all my grandparents and uncles and cousins, I'm still alive. I'm still going through the process of mourning. And I always pray that nobody that I know have to go through picking out those coffins and attending and sitting in that front line and being numb and being in the out of body experience. Like I seen people, but I was just focused on the coffin, and then I was there, and then I wasn't there, and then I closed my eyes, and I was still there. And you wanted to be a dream, but it's not. That's why I took it upon myself to call you and tell you that I'm here for you. But you was trying to be a people pleaser of everybody, but I just needed to help you. I didn't need to help everybody. And so I felt bad because when I'm here, when God sent me to help you, I can't let the negativity of other people saying things that make me feel less human. I can't do that. So I fell back. But anytime you called me, I answered the phone. And that's pretty much what it is. I'm here. Right. I lost the whole family, a whole family, and I thank God that the the person that was abused most of my life didn't deter the person that I am today that still want to help people. Because I could ball up with my pillow and cry until God take me away from this earth or contemplate on committing suicide to get away from this earth. But I don't because I still have people praying over me. And as you know, our ancestors prayed over us so much until the day they left this earth, until I'm covered, even when I think I'm not covered. And I'm grateful, for all the support. Entering this 50 club, it's a transition. It's a transition that I wasn't ready for. And most of us be in such a struggle to do better for our children than we had until when they turn 18, you turn around and you're like, where's my life? I want my life. And your life no longer exists of where you wanted to be at. Is where God put you at. And we have a struggle with that. My cousin Raymond, Raising on Ali Bay on Facebook. But he said you lost an entire family damn near. Yes, I have. But you know what? They all live within you. There's a little of each of them within you. I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. My grandmother was part of slavery, Lily Mae Wiggins. And she used to sit on the porch and tell us so many stories of the master, about the master, and what her and her mother and them had to endure while picking cotton and breastfeeding the master children. And You know, so I understand it. I understand it. And that's probably why I look at the riots and everything that's going on right now, because people still just don't get it. Our color just don't get it. They don't understand. Katina, I know you're always there for me, and I love you. I love you too, Auntie. Um, I don't know. I don't know how many riots we have to go through before they understand us. Rest in peace, Grandma. Yes, rest in peace, Willie Mae Wiggins. We love you and miss you. Thank you for those stories that help us be a better us today. Um, I don't know. We did riots, we rebuild. We did riots, we rebuild. Black Lives Matter, which is true, but they matter to who? Because the white man's killing us, the black man's killing us, the corona is killing us, everything is killing us. Katina, you're one of the strongest women I know. Continue to inspire. You're strong too, Auntie. We just don't recognize our own strength, but you are strong too. And if you want to, sister girl, we can take it on together until you're stronger. I'm here for you. Love you. Um, why is it that we don't use our platforms? We all have a platform to want to be better and do better. It shouldn't take for another African American man to get laid down on the concrete, screaming for his mother, using his last breath to say, "I can't breathe," before the world get outraged with anger. How many times are we gonna burn and tear down and be in the ashes of our um, consequences? Because I look back and see everything that's being torn down, burned down. They don't know that it's going to take years to rebuild all that. And the consequences is they're going to have to drive miles away. Now we got to get organizations that's going to drive down there and bring food and men and set up things to try to get them back on track. When we were supposed to be under curfew, once again, I cannot go back and emphasize enough how proud I am of Newark. Newark Strong. Hold the line. Thank you all for everything that y'all did yesterday, because they were really coming in to start a riot in the city of Newark yesterday. Shout out to Raz, because Raz had them on standby. I didn't know when I was riding through, but I seen the squad cars and everything. And when they tried it, shut it down ASAP. And thank you, because today we could have woke up in a whole nother era of shame and hurt and pain and body bags. So yes, I thank you for being our leader, Raz Baraka. Tanisha Berry, how are you, daughter from another mother? Thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is, how do you deal with the loss of a loved one during this pandemic? Or period. How do you deal with the mourning process of losing a loved one? Um, And Katina, it's okay to be strong and weak, because I have those weak moments too. I'm not gonna get up there and say I'm superwoman. At times, I do cry. I miss my daughter. I miss my son. I miss my mother. It's times that I want to talk to someone, and I can't call her. My mother was my best friend, even though my mother went through her own depressing stages in life where she didn't talk to nobody. So I have Billy, who I talk to, and he don't quite get it, but he's here sometime for a listening ear. However, I have my sister girls, Ellen, Robin, Tish, uh, my bonus daughters, Zakia, Kima, Cheryl. Like, yeah, I got some work. that I'm thankful, that have my back and they listen to me whine and here and there when I choose to want to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure to sit up here and have this conversation with y'all today. It helps me as you might not know, like I said, Billy told me to throw something in the bag, so I don't even know what town we're in, but just a little bit of rejuvenation for me to go back home and deal with all that I deal with and those that take what I bring to the table for granted. I love them. Shout out to them. But I want to boost me. And if that sounds selfish, okay. But today I am my sister keeper. And if my sister about her business and she need me, I'm all here for it. Like I said, let's strengthen each other together. We all have something that we need to get rid of, grow from, let the pain go, deal with it. Raisin said, thank you for your time and loving words. Love you, cousin. Always here. Anything I can do. We're living in some trying times. And we have to be careful of our surroundings right now. We have to be our own lawyers right now. We have to be the Ratchet reality show that was on TV before all this started is in the streets now. They telling you need to wear the masks and everything. Yet everybody Memorial Weekend, it was so many cookouts and nobody had a mask on. Nadira, hello, daughter from another mother. I love you. Still wear your masks. I know everybody said they can't breathe with them and this and that, but it's to protect you because you're going right back home to your children, your grandmother, your grandfather, but you say you love them and you care. If you love them and you care, before you come in, you like go wash, take off your clothes, and before you go embrace them and get them a hug, a kiss, a love, go wash down your face, your hands, spray yourself with Lysol, whatever it takes. If you really love your loved ones like you say it is. I know it's a change, the way people don't like changes. Hello, Cheryl, love you, baby. People do not like change, but we're all still here because God got a plan for us. Don't keep just being ignorant because I'm grown. Because most of the people that say I'm grown is the ones that's outside with no mask on and hanging around a bunch of people that they don't know where they was at. Some of the people could have just came from the Corona class and got it all over them. You just don't know. You have to be careful. It's still out here. And even if you one of the people that say, oh, it don't exist, look at all them people that was together yesterday. Okay. Like they said, it takes 7 to 14 days to know if you have it. What if June the 14th, 100 of those people that was at the riot dropped dead? Is that going to be your class? Then are you going to take it serious? Because the majority of y'all didn't have no mask on. Although I'm strong and I'm happy, a lot of people was not masked up yesterday. So I'm praying for all of us. Like I said, it could be a better you. I can't be a better you without you being a better you. Together we can be a better us. So let's start doing things that is. I love this song. I think Lean on Me. I think it is Lean on Me when you're not strong. Okay, that's not my stronger point, but y'all get my picture, right? Let's lean on each other and help one another. I'm here. Inbox me. You could always feel free to hit me up. No, I don't have all the answers, but together we can find some answers. All right. With that being said, like I said, I want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in. I don't know my next live. My next live gonna be one day next week. I will put it up on my page and let you guys know. But like I said, take everything in consideration. Be careful. You see something going on, go live. Just go live. Be careful of your surroundings, because you going live could save somebody's life. Because if that person had not shot that video, we would not have known how George was murdered. So I pray for them, because from what I hear, they was threatened because they shared the video. But I thank God, because you just never know what you going live might save somebody's life. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I just want to leave y'all all with this song. It was on the speaker.
And to place my feet on sinking sand, through the pain and all of my sorrow, through the tears and all of my fears, the Lord was there to keep me, for He's kept me in the midst of it all. Not because I've been so faithful, not because I've always obeyed. No, it's not because I trusted Him to be with me all of the way. But it's because He loves me so dearly. He was there to answer my call. He was there always to protect me. Oh, He's got me in the midst of it all. Oh, yes, I have. Temptations on